cruel social media remarks. Facebook comments have been pouring in after 4 people died while hiking.
You're dealing with an addicted generation.
This is a big time bomb ticking.
These kids who commit suicide, you go look at their Instagrams, you would have no clue.
Mr. Zuckerberg, would you be comfortable sharing with us the name of the hotel you stayed in last night?
No.
People who spend more time on Facebook suffer higher rates of depression than people who spend less time on Facebook. It'll destroy relationships, it'll cost time, and it'll cost money, and it'll make your life worse.
Alright, so this video is going to mess up the engagement rate of my YouTube channel. It's a heavy video that is not at all aimed to garner your attention. However, it is extremely critical that anyone who is in his or her 20s, they watch this. A few days ago, I spoke to some students at the London School of Economics, and I asked them one very specific question, that what's the one word that comes to their mind when they hear the word Instagram? And students came with n number of examples. Some said it's anger, some said it's jealousy, some said it's opportunities, and so on and so forth. I've always associated Instagram with envy, where everyone wants to flaunt their perfectly curated and filtered version of reality. In fact, youngsters are incentivized to do that. Move over to any other social media platform or any other billion-dollar venture, you would realize that there are remnants of the 7 deadly sins in the core of their business model. Twitter is wrath. For some reason, everyone is angry on Twitter. Tinder is lust. Netflix is sloth. LinkedIn is pride, so on and so forth. So if you are to build a billion-dollar venture, you just need to figure out a way to massage one of the 7 deadly sins. Your Stanford-educated engineers will design algorithms that will not only drive your EBITDA margins, but will also drive up the anxiety, insecurity amongst the 20-year-old kids. These algorithms will sadly confine you to spend time with people who are exactly like you. These people think like you, and they have exactly the same ambitions as you have. And this leads to a lot of social anxiety and cutthroat competition. And it is here where the idea of mimetic theory of desire becomes extremely important. It essentially means that we are born without preferences. We have absolutely no clue what we want to do in life. And we just want to copy what the other person next to us is doing. And this leads to a lot of conflict. Just to give you an example, when I was in New Delhi, I wanted to become an IAS officer, just because everyone around me was doing it, or everyone I knew was preparing for government exams. When I came to the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy, I wanted to become an international diplomat and join the UN or World Bank. When I went to Dartmouth, the Tufts School of Business, I wanted to join McKinsey because everyone around me was joining McKinsey. And this usually happens when you confine yourself to people who are exactly like you, who think like you. And it is the greatest disservice you can do to yourself. Because in such an ecosystem, you don't grow. You're just letting the peer pressure decide your future. And the best way out of this conundrum is to be part of communities that are completely different from how you think. They are different in terms of perspectives. They are different in terms of their background. You will learn and grow more by disagreeing with others than by being a part of a community of lemmings who just have one perspective that gets magnified in every conversation. And this is the exact reason why at Global Governance Initiative, we design communities that are multi-dimensional. From McKinsey consultants to UN officials to Amazon product managers to competitive athletes to accountants where they debate, they learn, they grow, they thrive, they fail, they huddle. So if you're feeling low about not achieving your long-term goals, first and foremost, analyze, are those even your long-term goals? Or your long-term goals were merely decided by your parents or your partner or your peers or your friends? Even if you end up achieving those goals, you will lead an anxious and conflicted life. I made a fortune in my 20s, not because I worked hard, but because I learned how to think, how to communicate, how to make decisions, and how to interlink the world of business, public policy, psychology, economy, philosophy, to the world of NFTs or social tokens. McKinsey, World Bank, BlackRock offers will come on their own. See this happening almost on daily basis at GGI. In your 20s, don't just confine yourself with what the person next to you is doing. Become part of a truly diverse community where you fail, you debate, you huddle. You are indeed the average of 5 people you spend most of your time with.